Oh, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thursday morning, 22nd of August, 2 days after my birthday. That means I was born on the 20th of August. Okay. I wanted to tell the socialists that and the liberals because it seems like when they spit out their narratives of things, they lose focus on numbers and reality and stuff, and it kind of goes. Um, it's medical for all. Oh, it sounds awesome, but the numbers don't work out. The numbers don't even come close to working out, and especially when you think Americans want to drive a new car, a new truck, live in a new home, want to have a new bass boat and or a new RV or camper, and they want to be able to go out and go on $15,000 vacations, and yeah, the numbers don't work. They don't even come close. Not even close. Not even close. Um, Bernie Sanders. He came out. He's spitting out the first time I ever heard him say it. Oh, I want to double the numbers of union workers. Union's done a lot of things for the working man. It's helped the working man in a lot of areas. The working man, plain and simply, corporation just they paid on them for years back in the 30s, 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, 50s. Big business and money, they paid on the worker, man. They just did. But then it was ordered by the president at the time, hey, you sign a contract with the union. And we're talking about United Mine Workers, I guess. But he ordered them to sign a contract with the coal companies, forced them to sign a contract with the UMWA. And it helped. It helped. It gave the union man. It gave him a couple more dollars. It gave him more protection on the job. It gave him a voice. It helped. It helped a lot. But a lot took place. Not 20 years later, man. 25 years later, a lot took place. The union worker got to the point he thought he owned the job, that he ought to be able to control the job and how it functioned and everything else. And then, plain and simply, production. I mean, I worked around the UMWA. Production just coal companies like, well, here where I live in southern West Virginia, uh, Island Creek Coal Company, production started going up. They having so much trouble with the union, they basically just sold out and put it under new leadership or whatever, or changed names. They done something, but anyway, to try to smother out the union, and they did in a lot of areas and stuff. But they never had a choice. Well, they could have settled. They could have settled for $1.5 billion profit instead of three. Well, yeah, they could have, but they're in it for money, and they invested the money. I mean, I'm not dead set against the union. I'm dead set against corporation. I'm dead set against union. I'm dead set against the individual that don't believe that you should earn your payday. That you're gonna do what's right and do it. But yeah, a lot of union members and stuff, man, they look for an excuse to get off work a day. And I used to be. Maybe I was one of them. After you get in work and whatever, uh, a year and a half, 2 years, and you don't get much break or whatever, and everybody wants a break, like get off and stop, but the job has to go on too. But Listen, Bernie Sanders is looking for corporate support. Back, when was it? Back during Obama's sit-in. Was it Michigan or Wisconsin? Governor, was it Scott Walker? Tried to balance the budget of the state, and he couldn't balance it. He couldn't get the numbers to work. The union, I believe it was the teachers union of the state or whatever, they wanted this, they wanted that, but it wouldn't let him balance the budget. And the things that was going on was going to force the state into default. You know, I mean, there has to be a limit, people. There's got to be a limit. Union is not absolutely bad, but it's like everything else. If the attitude isn't adjusted to fit the narrative of what's going on, it can be bad. You know, he wouldn't sign it. I think he managed to balance the budget for the state, but the teachers union, I don't think got everything he wanted. I don't remember all the details now. But what I'm just, my rant, okay, I'll call it a rant. To me, it's not a rant because I'm not talking about opinion. Opinions, somewhere they have to be stopped in order for the boundaries of right and wrong to be established. Opinions today is killing the American people. You realize that? Opinions are killing the American people. You got people out there, their minds are racing into the friggin' poop. I mean, just literal ignorant poop. But yet they want their opinion to be spit in everybody's ears. They call it the Great American Melting Pot. It's an excuse for poop, basically. This is not about people. It's not about opinion. It's about right and wrong. This is not about politics. It's about right and wrong. Do you realize that every moral, decent avenue of thought in this nation today is being attacked? This judge down there in the southern part of the nation somewhere, some friggin' judge down there, he's wanting to okay recreational. See, we got recreational marijuana now. He's wanting to okay recreational cocaine, hard stuff. Now you think about that. Remember, I've told you a few posts back, when I put a few videos back, I told you there is no good end to this liberal thinking. There is no good end. Liberal thinking excuses every damnable poop-sucking idea that comes around. There's no good end to it. People, you're going to have to draw the lines on these perverts. You're going to have to go the polls. And these liberals and socialists, they friggin' need to be shut down hard. Shut them down hard. They have to be cut off. If they don't, listen, if you don't move and you don't do something, it'll be your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, somewhere down in your bloodline, they're going to have to be facing this stuff. They're going to have to fight the friggin' pervert off the porch of their home because the pervert has no respect for their boundaries. I know a man that he went and talked to a mother years ago. And he told her, said, you've got to draw lines, you've got to draw the boundaries on your son. You're going to have to teach him these things. If he don't, somebody will have to deal with him. And they may have to deal with him hard. Now that was an individual situation, and it was true. And it's true, people. It's true even from the individual all the way up to the corporate or the group or the crowd. The boundaries have got to be replaced. They have to be built again. Perversions have got to be set in their place. Listen, you have no right in the face of the innocent, the honest, the upright, the truthful, the decent. You have no right overrunning boundaries that do not belong to you. This liberal, poop-sucking thinking that's going on today is exactly that. It's poop suckers. It's poop suckers looking for the avenues and ways till they can step across your boundaries, get on your ground, force you to think like them, irregardless of what it does to you, your family, your bloodlines. They're poop suckers. People, sin has no boundaries. Sin is like a poison ivy vine, or this what they call a Missouri beeweed, or kudzu vines. You've seen these places. You got this whole big hillside, and you've got these old vines growing up these trees, and the trees are bare leaves. All you see is old big green leaves of this vine. It's called kudzu. I was told it was shipped in from China or somewhere to cover bare ground or something or other. But it kills out everything else. It's like sin. This Missouri beeweed that you see out here, there's a lot of it in West Virginia. And it's just no big stalk, green stalk looking thing. Comes back every year. I've seen this stuff, I don't know, I've probably seen it 12, 14 foot tall sometimes. And it grows up and it's got this white bloom comes out on it, but it spreads. The kudzu spreads. Poison ivy spreads. The vines, as they grow, they take root. Wherever that root is down on the ground, they will take root. They'll grow up, a poison ivy vine will grow up beside the tree, and it will attach itself to the tree. That's the way sin is. Sin progresses. Sin has no boundaries. You either cut it off hard and kill it, or it will kill you. Or it will kill you. This liberal thinking is a sewer. A man that lived from 1800s into early 1900s. His name is Karl Marx. He was a socialist, a Marxist. He was a socialist. He said if we can destroy the morals of one generation of Americans, we can take the nation. If we can pee into their minds enough to corrupt decent thought pattern, we can own them. If we can pee into their minds enough, we can convince them. That's what it's talking about. The man was a drunken socialist. Listen, ain't nothing else matters but just what he said. He was a drunken socialist, lived in the 1800s, died sometime in the early 1900s. But look what he was. He knew where the strength of America was. He knew the strength of America was in the moral concepts that were being taught. Look what's going on now in Congress, in the medias, in the movies. We got a Roku here at the house, and so help me, you would not believe the movies that I have run through, and I'd open up this movie and start watching. I get to watch something here again. I like sci-fi. I like things that are a little bit mystic or whatever in its ways, but I have boundaries in me. I have boundaries, and I'll get to watching this, and before you know it, some come up and vulgar language start rolling off her lips like a friggin' sewer pipe. And I have to turn it off and get away from it. My Lord, can't you people even make a decent scene anymore? And I've heard them. I've heard them on there. I started one here just about 2 days ago. Started a movie. Oh, it come on. It was going pretty good. And then I'm listening to it, and here this black guy gets on here, and he uses the F word about 3 times in 10 seconds. Well, no fun. We never fun. We never fun. I said, are there no ends to what these people think and what they're willing to do? That's what I'm trying to stress on you, trying to get you to realize. Listen, your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren, they're going to have to deal with this rot. Either you got enough brains, enough common sense, two decent brain cells rubbing together between your ears to cut this rot off, or they're going to have to face these people on their front porch. There are no good ends. There are no boundaries, people, to the actions of those that think they can do anything they want. There's no boundaries to them. The boundaries will expand. They're like poison ivy, Missouri beeweed, kudzu. There's no boundaries. You either cut it and kill it out, or it will grow. It will come over top of you. I've seen that kudzu grow into people's yards. I've seen it spread out on the parking lots. I used to drive a garbage truck. I'd go down and I'd back this old garbage truck up. There's one of them you could pick the dumpster up and just dump it into the back, you know. And I'd back in it, and I'd have to go back there and push this old kudzu vine back, take a stick and beat it back just to get back there and hook a cable on the back of the box to flip it up. Because it knows no boundaries. It spreads. What these people are doing, the Bernie Sanders, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers, Hollywood, it's liberal, socialist, pig poop nightmare. It knows no boundaries. You will either going to have to take time to draw the boundaries on them, or they're going to own you. They will own your family. They will own your bloodline. Listen, people, back in the 70s and 80s, the gays had put it in their publications. We want to seduce your children. We want to seduce your children. Look at them now. All you little, these little, what is it? These little General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, these little butt shows on television. Gays. Your movie's gay. Hollywood's gay. It's just everything around you. These politicians pushing their gay agendas. Every friggin' thing around. We want to seduce your children. Listen, people. Listen to me. This is not a personal desire or agenda or a personal thing. This is a driven thing. They don't listen, they don't only want you to make up your mind, they want to tell you you're gay. You have to realize where this rot is going. All you have to do is accept it. A man of God done a seminar back a few years ago at a place we had up here at a food bank. And he came in and he'd teach in seminar, and he said, we are the recipient of spirits. We are the recipient of the things that are told to us, that we listen to, that we adhere to. If you don't know where the boundaries of what you're listening to, if you don't know where the boundaries of that thing is, it will enter your mind, it will enter your heart, and it will become a desire, a working avenue within you. You were not born gay. I don't give a dog piss what tells you, this tells you, that tells you. You were not born gay. If you're a man, you have a penis. If you're a woman, you have a vagina. It is natural to desire the opposite sex. That is natural. It is not natural for you to desire a man to desire another man's penis. It is not natural for a woman to desire another woman's vagina. That is not natural. I don't give a dog piss what they tell you. It's wrong. It's wrong. Not only will it destroy your lives, it will destroy everything connects with you. It's wrong. You become what you adhere to. If you are willing to listen and suck on rot and poop and trash, every damnable thing come out, you will become that rot, that poop, that trash, that every damnable thing you're willing to suck on. You will become that. That perversion, if you suck on it, you will become the pervert. You either cut the perversion off before it gets on you or in you, or that perversion will see that you are cut off. Sin knows no boundaries. I don't care what these people tell you. This judge down here, recreational cocaine. Can you believe how in the friggin' world does a man like that, or woman, whatever he or she is, how in the friggin' world do they breathe on their own? How do they breathe on their own? They have to be wearing a 97-pound backpack, concentrator, life support system on their back for to friggin' breathe. It was bad enough for marijuana. That wasn't a butt-licking, stupid, poop-sucking thing you ever heard in your life. But now this? If we can pee into their minds enough, we can convince them. If we can pee into their minds enough, we can own them. So help me, people. Sometimes I even question the people that watch my videos. Why do you not share them? Because I'm not talking political. I don't give a dog piss what Republicans, Democrats do. That's nothing but a split. That alone is contrary to the will of God. That alone is contrary to what works in creation. That alone is contrary to what will actually function and do its job as it should. Two friggin' parties up there doing this. That's stupid. It's stupid. But as long as you vote for one of those people just because they're this party or that party, you're as stupid as they are. I'm sorry, you're going to have to suck it up, baby. That's stupid. Those people are not doing their job. Right now, as it stands, the Republican Party is on your side a hell of a lot more than the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is playing that same old, if we can pee into their minds enough, we can convince them. That's what the Democratic Party is playing. Watch them. Watch them, people. They have stood up against law and order. They have stood up against the knowledge of right and wrong. They're wanting to totally cast off the knowledge of right. The Liberal Party is a New York City sewer system's got more sense than the Liberal Party. I'm sorry. The New York City sewer system has more sense than the Liberal Party. All the poop that's been pumped through that system shows more common sense than the Democratic Party, that liberal socialist rot. I've told you, people, so help me, the Democratic Party shouldn't get one friggin' vote in 2020. Not one friggin' vote should be given to them. Obama passed immigration regulations and stuff when he was in, and people licked Obama's butt, just rake their tongue right up that old smelly butt, man. And Trump comes in, and he goes in, he tries doing something like that, and then he changes it. And they go, he changes it back or does something else. Trump comes in, and he says, these people are coming in under this this immigration law about families. You know, if you got family, you can get welcomed in. Now, he tries to cut that back until we can get control on a situation that's gotten almost totally out of control at one time. He cuts it back and says, well, the families are being separated. And they, oh, that's so cruel. Separate the father and the mother from the children. And this is liberals and socialists. That's so cruel. That's heartless. He do all this stuff. And now he passes law that they can hold them together indefinitely to the judge rules that whether they can come in under asylum or whether they can't. And they say, oh, that's heartless. He's keeping them together now. Oh, my God, what have we done? I mean, pay attention to them. I mean, it's stupid. These liberals and socialists are doing stuff now that are literally stupid. Literally stupid, people. I've talked to put my illustration. These people, you know the old game, jacks. You know, you got these little metal things. They got, I don't know, you got 6 or 8 little things sticking there made of steel, and they got these little things sticking down. They're only about as big around as your finger or something like that. And you got this little rubber ball, and you throw this ball up, and you're supposed to, this ball's supposed to go up and bounce, come back up, and you're supposed to grab one of these little star thingies and catch the ball before it bounces the second time. And then after you do it once, then you got to throw it up. You got to pick up 2 of those little star thingies, and the ball bounces and it goes back up, and you catch the ball in the hand before it bounces the second time. And you go from 1 to, I think, at 10, I think. Been a long time. But anyway, the ball has to bounce. If a ball doesn't bounce, there's no way you can play the game properly. It's not friggin' possible, okay? That's the way the game is played. These socialists and liberals, they want to play jacks and make this little rubber ball bounce in grass about this tall. And there's no way that little ball's going to bounce. It's not possible. These people are running an avenue of sheer literal ignorance that has led them into stupidity. It has led them into literal sheer stupidity. I don't see how they breathe on their own. I mean, breathing is a natural muscular function of the body. It's automatic. It doesn't have to be governed from anything. It functions in life. But these people have gotten to the point, they get me concerned. I'm afraid I'm going to look at them one of these days and they're going to be turning blue. And I look and it's unreal. It's unreal, the rot, the shame, the disgrace that's coming off of these people's lips. But you know something? It's been accepted. These people come back at me and they've called me everything you can imagine in replies and comments. Man, you're way out there, ain't you? You're all this, man. You need to get on your meds. You mother... There's one fella I spoke about Marxism, about the rot that comes off of him. He comes back and comments to me, replies to me, and he's just nothing but vulgar, ugly stuff, calling me every damnable thing, just like he was laying in bed with 17 other men, and I pulled the cover off and uncovered him. That's basically. He just come at me with this sheer rot. Why? Because I done nothing but spoke truth. I done nothing but spoke what was honest, with a decent moral attitude, to point out something that would help an individual here and here and here and here, that these individuals would begin to realize we've got to get off of this track of liberal, godless, immoral thinking. We've got to get away from it. It's killing us. Nothing in my mind but just trying to get people to realize, just like the caption or whatever on my page, Twist the World News. Here for you, for your family, for you, and your friends, and your friends. I'm not doing this for some political thing. Man, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for Jack and Joe and Jane and Billy Bob and Ray and Leroy, and I'm doing it for you. You've got to realize this liberal socialist path of godless, immoral trash. It'll friggin' snuff you out. If you survive it, it will grow and it'll snuff your family out. If they survive it, it will grow and it'll stuff your bloodline out. If you don't cut it off, it will eventually win. It will eventually win. And whoever's there that has to deal with it, and they get the death rattles, and they realize, man, I'm going down, they're going to say, who in the friggin' hell turned this loose on me? Who turned this loose on us that this rot come into our lives, forcing its friggin' shame and disgrace and disease infested, pitiful rot is being turned loose on us? China dealing with protests. See, they had this vote here just what? I mean, it ain't been just 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago or something other. They voted that the president or the leader of China would not have to step down. He would be in power as long as he was alive. Okay? He would be the ruler over China. Now, millions of Chinese people are protesting. We want our vote back. We want our voice back. We want to... They're persecuting Christians. People that speak truth and honor and have respect and regard for others, a true respect, not a word thing, but a true respect. People that should be protected by every law in the world are being attacked. They're being persecuted. I forget how many, I've seen it here just a little while back, thousands upon thousands Christians put in jail just because they're Christians. And that's the same attitude that's growing in America, people. These liberals and socialists in America right now, they would rather lick a dog's butt than to speak truth. That's basically what it's coming down to. They'll do anything. If it means they can pull their penis out on the street, they'll do anything. Instead of keeping their penis in and being decent, they'll do anything. If it means they have to be honest and decent, hey, it don't matter what they have to do to keep from being honest and decent. Honest and decent. It's getting unreal. Who was this? Los Angeles? Out there in California. They say that you could get out there and you could walk down the street and you could smell the urine and the poop, the feces. Because the people, the homeless, and all the numbers got to the point that they're defecating stuff right on the friggin' sidewalks. Maybe around the corner in a little dark alley or something other. But they say you could smell the sewage. You could smell the pee and the poop. They're blaming Texas. Now it's governor. What's his name? Let me think of his name. He's blaming Texas for California's homeless problem. Texas, all this is fault. God, man. Blaming Texas for California's homeless problem. It's pitiful, people. It is literally pitiful. The things that are being said and done now. And these people are doing these things with no regard. With no regard to decent knowledge of right and wrong. It's pitiful. It is literally pitiful. People, so help me. If you don't get this stopped, if this rot, if this liberal, godless, immoral, socialist, deceiving rot is not stopped, the day will come. The day will come, your families, your bloodlines, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, maybe your great-great-grandchildren, they're going to look back at the time in history when it'll be recorded, it'll come out somewhere. They will look back in time when this stuff could have been brought under control and cut off before it got into their life. They'll look back through history and they'll look at your pictures and your name and they'll say, damn you. Damn you for turning this loose on us. Damn you for the excuses made. Damn you for the acceptance of what these people are doing. Damn you for giving those perverts legitimacy into our lives. Damn you. I'm telling you, people, the day will come. I believe with everything within me, the day will come and it will take place. The day will come that people will realize this godless, immoral rot has raped us. It has literally raped us in every area. One day, the families or bloodlines, they're going to come to the realization that they've been raped. That they were they were pushed into a place where options that should have been theirs, somebody else will be making them. Decisions will be made by other people that concern their life. Socialism has never proven out good, people. It has never proven out good. Never. I'm gonna say this, and I know some of you you're gonna bitch and bark and everything else, but you need to hear it. You need to hear it. Something's gonna have to rattle that brain of yours. Something's gonna have to scratch at that crusted, hard conscience of yours that no longer recognizes right and wrong, that no longer recognizes what is actually honorable and dishonorable. Something's gonna have to break through that crust. Something has got to get to you to the point that you begin to question why these lying liberals and scheming socialists are doing the rot. Why Marxism is such a big thing now. We're not Marxists, we're socialists. People, if the ends are the same, they are the same. Who gives a piss what you call it? If the ends are the same, they are the same. Islam does the same friggin' thing. They want control. The Muslim world wants to control the whole friggin' world. And whether you realize or not, there has been millions upon millions of people died at the hands of Islam. Died at the hands of Islam. Hey, Hitler was child's play compared to Islam. Hitler was child's play compared to Islam. I'm going to say this. You need to hear it. You need to pay attention to what I say. Don't draw conclusions. 3 words into my little thingy, or 30 words into my little thingy, hear me out. Hear me out. As it stands right now, you know, there was a time as a president in this nation was given control, sole control of the power of this nation. His name was George Washington. Congress give him control of the nation. George Washington was a Christian. He knew where the boundaries of right and wrong were, but he was given control in order for him to stop the British on their advance into the New World. After he defeated the British and got them kicked off of American soil, he relinquished his power back to the people through Congress. As it stands right now, Donald Trump needs to call martial law in America. If he would do that right now, he could stop a lot of tears and a lot of heartache. He needs to cut this friggin' liberal shithole back. It needs to be stopped. This socialist garbage needs to be stopped. He could save the American people many, many tears and sorrows. Just get it back, push it back, get it out of our lives, and then you just turn the power back over. Well, I hate to say Congress today, because Congress itself is a sewer. It's pitiful. That's that two-party thing. That's ignorance. That's open ignorance, man. That's open. The Bible says, "How can two walk together except they agree?" Another place says, "A house divided shall not stand." That's literal open ignorance, people. But today it's not a difference of political opinion anymore. This is no longer political. This is the knowledge of right and wrong at battle. And the liberals, the socialists, the Democrats show no regard. They show no shame. They show no remorse for their thinking, for their wording, for their actions. They show no remorse for what they are doing against humanity, against society. They show no remorse for what they are willing to do and to the individual to get what they want. They show no remorse. I've told you, God told me just a few years ago on the side of my side porch, eating breakfast one morning. Wasn't even thinking about this friggin' stuff. Man, just eating my breakfast in the cool of the morning, the old side porch screened in, man. I just enjoying my breakfast. Oh, a great morning. Awesome morning, man. And here it was interrupted with one little word. One little word from God interrupted my awesome morning. Legitimacy. Legitimacy. Up out of the blue, man, he speaks one word into my little old mind. And my awesome morning. Legitimacy. I began to ponder it and chew on it. And I'm working with the stuff that I do in Twisted World News. And before the day is out, it's very clear, very apparent why God had spoke that word to me. He said, "John, the shames, the disgrace, the wording, the actions, all this smelly stuff going on has garnered legitimacy. The perverts have got legitimacy. Their actions are no longer hated. Their actions are no longer repulsive. Their actions are no longer disgraceful." He said the shame, the disgrace is accepted. It's accepted. Perversions, the lying, the cheating, the stealing, the divorce, the rape, the murder, there's every damnable thing that comes into mind had been accepted. Your courtrooms today, people, they friggin' nightmares, this hellish justice they try to portray. You got cases that have been in court for 5 friggin' years over a murder. Took them 5 friggin' years to finally come out and say, well, the man murdered her. 5 friggin' years. Oh, God, people. Do you have any idea how this is going to turn out if it's not stopped? Donald Trump, as it stands, the Democratic Party has given itself away to commit crime against the American people. Moral crime, immoral, lawless crime. It's committed itself against the downfall of America. It's got to be stopped. Donald Trump needs to call martial law. He needs to shut these perverts down. As long as these god-awful atrocities are kept in place, there will be no justice. There will be no peace. There will be no resolving. There will be nothing left. The day will come, nothing but control will be there. There will be no choice. There will be no individual. There will be nothing. There will be nothing. Liberal thinking carries the seed of chaos and anarchy. There will be nothing left. You have to make up your mind. You've got to make up your mind. What kind of leadership do you want? Do you want leadership that cuts drugs off? That cuts lying off and cheating off and all this stuff? Or do you want leadership that gives every damnable pervert in the world the excuse to come up and just jump on your front porch and jerk your little girl's panties down or your little boy's drawers down? What kind of leadership do you want? What kind of leadership do you want? This Jeffrey Epstein thing, with big names of coming up where they've been on the Lolita Express? Been down to Orgy Island? Big names coming up. What kind of leadership do you want? This man was murdered behind prison bars. He was murdered. No, he was murdered. You can bet your freaking butt on it, people. He was murdered. He didn't kill himself. He was murdered. What kind of leadership do you want? Do you want Donald Trump to try to bring back our forefathers' thinking that there is godly moral boundaries that need to be in place in order for an honorable justice to reign in, and for the peace and the voice and the freedoms of American people to stay in place, that they could still vote, they could still make up their own minds? Or do you want some freaking pervert to come up and get in power that does not know the difference between right and wrong and turns hell loose on you? Would you rather have Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer or how about this black guy, this Muslim that beat his girlfriend? I see, what's his name? He's a big voice in the Democratic Party. I can't think of his name. Wears glasses, back guy. But anyway, he beat his girlfriend. Pictures of her, man, face messed up and stuff, and he's still walking the streets. Would you rather have a pervert like that in power? Someone that shows no regard or no respect for other people and other things? Would you rather have them set in a power or a position of power that their god awful thinking is law? Is it Morrison? I don't know. You're going to make up your mind what kind of power you want over you. You want a power that gives you a voice, that respects your decision, or do you want a power that says you either get your butt in line or deal with it, baby? How would you like to have some friggin' pervert that walk up to you and just punch you in the nose and say, now open your mouth? and you get ready to draw back and get ready to hit him with a fist, and some friggin' idiot standing beside him pulls out a 45, sticks it in you friggin' between your eyes. You better make up your mind what kind of power you want. Listen, there's deviants out there that'll take you out in a freaking heartbeat. Hey, listen, if these liberals and socialists get in power, people like me will be shocked. They'll kill us because we'll say no, and they'll get rid of me first, and others like me. They'll get rid of us first, because there's no way in hell. There is no way in hell that these people get by with what they want, as long as someone like me and Mike Huckabee and Ben Carlson and Donald Trump and others. There's no way in hell they can pull off the garbage they will want, as long as people like me and these others, conservatives, true conservatives, have a voice to say, no, that's not right. You can't do that. It's not right to kill the innocent, the honest, the decent, and the helpless. That's not right. But see, that's the difference between conservative and liberal. The liberal sees no boundary. The conservative respects and honors the boundary. That's the difference. I'm going to turn this thing off. I don't know how long I've been on here. I'll do 51 minutes and 32, 33, 34 seconds. I'm going to turn it off. You got to make up your mind what kind of leadership you want. You want a pervert that doesn't see your personal boundaries? Or do you want someone up there that says you have your own space? Make up your mind, America. Donald Trump has done a tremendous, awesome job for this nation. The stock market. More people working. Corporations and companies coming back to the states, building. Economy doing better. All these numbers, but these liberals and socialists, oh, we're looking at a recession. It's going to go bad. It's going to go bad. And they sow fear into the heart of Wall Street. Their words are nothing but fear into the heart of investors. People hoping to make good with their investments, to grow a company or corporation. People hoping to make good, that things will go well, and they sow fear up there. You know the reason, people. The economy has seemed to come up and stall. Up to the period of the stall. You know what's caused that? It ain't because the economy had to stall. It's because of the fear. It's because of the fear that was sown into the minds of people. These friggin' butthead liberals and socialists sown fear into Wall Street. And that's the only reason it's doing it, people, because of the fear that's sown in there. They sown fear into the heart and the mind of the investors. Fear. Fear. These friggin' perverts, liberals and socialists, sowed fear. They have been nothing but a friggin' sewer ever since Donald Trump said he was running for office. For 4 friggin' years, they have been nothing but a friggin' sewer. These liberals and socialists have been nothing but a friggin' sewer. Dumping its contamination, its disease, its infestations, its stench, it's rot. They've been nothing but a friggin' sewer. They are the enemy of society. They are the enemy of mankind. They are the enemy of you, your family, your bloodline, your neighbors. your schools, your jobs. They are the enemy of everything that it takes for you to live in this world and have a family and have a peaceful, decent, honorable life. They are the enemy of everything that your serenity would give you. Liberal thinking carries the seed of chaos and anarchy. They are your enemy, people. They are your enemy. I hope you enjoy this day thinking about what I've told you. I told you truth. I spoke truth to you. I spoke truth to you. I put truth in your ears. I told you so that you would become a little bit wiser, that you would begin to realize who is tearing at your life like a damn animal. They're ripping at your life, the serenity and peace, the safety of your life. Ugh. That's what liberal thinking is doing, people. It's ripping at your life. It's ripping at you as an individual. It's ripping at you. Claws. I told you because I love you. I told you because you need to know. I told you because I don't want you peeing on my family. I don't want you peeing on my bloodline. Just as I have no desire to pee on yours. I told you because you needed to know. Isaiah 32, Old Testament Bible. Isaiah chapter 32, verses 5 through 8 will tell you everything you need to know about these liberals and socialists and what they're doing. You need to read it. You need to understand. Have a good one. This is old John D., Twisted World News. Goodbye.